stop everything you're doing right now because you won't believe what I'm about to reveal. Meghan Markle, yes, the Meghan Markle has just been humiliated in the most epic way possible. And this isn't just some tabloid gossip. Oh no, this is about her desperate failed attempt to crash one of the most exclusive events in the fashion world, Valentino's memorial. You've heard of celebrity crashes before, but this is a whole new level of cringeworthy. It all went down on January 19th, 2026. While Meghan's husband, Prince Harry, was emotionally shattered thousands of miles away, she was doing something that completely proves how far she's willing to go to network, to climb that Hollywood ladder, and to claim a seat in the most exclusive circles. Forget mourning Valentino, the fashion icon. Forget the man who redefined glamour for decades. Meghan wasn't there to pay respects. Oh no, she was on her phone, dialing her contacts, calling in favors, trying to get herself an invite to the memorial.
Invite herself to Valentino's memorial service, to the funeral. Okay?
Meghan Markle and the Valentino funeral that she didn't attend. According to an article published on January 20th.
Like me too. So she invited herself to that. The only place that she has a standing open invite to where she...
And let me tell you, the way she tried to wiggle into that event, it's a masterclass in desperation. She wasn't calling to express sympathy. She wasn't even shedding a tear over a man who defined high fashion. Nope, Meghan was trying to secure a place at the event. You know why? Because being there meant access to the absolute top dogs of fashion. Think Anna Wintour, Tom Ford, Donatella Versace, and even Anne Hathaway. These are the people who hold the keys to the kingdom, and Meghan thought, if I can just get in the door, the rest will follow. Here's the catch. Meghan has no genuine connection to Valentino. Let me break it down for you. Sure, she's worn his clothes, but millions of women around the world have done the same. Being a customer doesn't get you on the inside track, Meghan. Valentino's brand was built on years of personal relationships and deep-rooted history in the fashion world. You don't just walk into that kind of event by buying a dress off the rack. You have to earn it. And Meghan, she hasn't. So, what did she do? She picked up that phone and started working her contacts. But here's the real kicker. She never had any real ties to Valentino's world. This wasn't just any old networking. This was a calculated power move aimed at getting her name in front of the most influential people in the fashion industry.
Let's talk about the rumor that shook absolutely no one with common sense. Meghan Markle and the Valentino funeral that she didn't attend.
She had one person in mind, Pier Paolo Piccioli, the man who was Valentino's creative director for 16 years. If anyone could get her in, it was him. The same guy who led her into a Balenciaga show in October 2025. So naturally, Meghan thought, why not try the same play with Valentino's memorial? What's the worst that could happen? But this time, it didn't work. They saw right through her and they shut her down hard. No soft refusals, no sugarcoating. It was a flat-out rejection. Meghan Markle, with all her power, connections, and contacts, was not welcome in the inner sanctum of Valentino's world. And it wasn't just a no, it was a public one. That's the part that really stings.
Saw it as an opportunity. She's not wrong there. These big celebrity funerals, they're not like ours. They really are network.
The memorial took place on January 23rd at a gorgeous basilica in Rome with the fashion elite in full attendance. The likes of Donatella Versace, Anna Wintour, and Anne Hathaway stood front and center, paying tribute to Valentino's life and legacy. And where was Meghan? Not there. She tried every angle, pulled every string, made every phone call, but she never made it past the velvet ropes. She wasn't even in the country. Now here's where it gets even juicier. You'd think this would have been a private matter, right? Wrong. The whole campaign, her relentless calls, her desperate push to get into the event was leaked to the press. And let me tell you, when leaks like this happen, it's no accident. Someone wanted everyone to know what had happened behind the scenes. They wanted the world to see just how far Meghan would go to climb the social ladder.
Claimed that after successfully inviting herself to Paris Fashion Week, Meghan was once again working overtime, quietly reaching out to Valentino's inner circle.
When your attempts to get into a private memorial are blasted into the public eye, that's a serious blow to your reputation. It shows you tried to exploit someone's passing as a personal branding opportunity, and when the industry says no, they make sure you know it. And that's exactly what happened here. But it doesn't end there. No, this scandal has been brewing for years, and it's all thanks to one man, Tom Bower, the biographer, who predicted Meghan's downfall. He spent years studying her, speaking to over 80 people who knew her personally, and the result was a book that dropped some major truth bombs. Bower laid out exactly what would happen if Meghan kept treating relationships like transactions. And guess what? This whole Valentino debacle fits perfectly with his analysis.
Ever believe there is any world, any place that she cannot insert herself into. Her ambition.
The exposure of Meghan's failed attempt to crash Valentino's memorial wasn't just a minor embarrassment, it was the fashion world's way of telling her in no uncertain terms that she's not welcome. The rejection wasn't just whispered behind closed doors, it was thrown out into the open for everyone to see. A public spectacle that cut through the glamorous facade she's been desperately trying to build. And let me be clear, this wasn't an accident. The people Meghan called, the people who were supposed to help her, well, they didn't just say no. They made sure to leak her humiliation. They wanted everyone to know she failed. They wanted to show that her desperate attempts to climb the fashion ladder weren't just unsuccessful, they were flat out rejected.
Y'all, it has been a busy week in the world of royal news, and because of all those headlines, I've been really neglecting my fashion content.
But here's the thing. This whole episode is part of a much larger pattern. Meghan's life has been a series of calculated moves, all designed to gain access to spaces she doesn't belong. Fashion, Hollywood, the royal spotlight, she's tried it all. But the problem? People see right through it. She's been exposed for trying to play the system, exploiting relationships and tragedies for her own personal gain. It's not just a momentary slip-up, it's a recurring theme, and it's becoming more and more apparent. Let's rewind a bit, back to October 2025 during Paris Fashion Week. Meghan showed up at the Balenciaga show. Now don't get me wrong, Balenciaga is massive, but her presence there wasn't because of any deep connection to the brand or the designer, Pier Paolo Piccioli. No, Meghan just picked up the phone and asked if she could come. That's it. No strategy, no negotiation, just an out-of-the-blue request. And guess what? She got in. That's how she operates. She finds a weak link, exploits it, and gains access. But that worked once. That's it. This time, with Valentino's memorial, her usual trick didn't work.
The death of Valentino marked the end of one of the greatest couturiers of the 20th century, the last emperor of fashion, if I may.
So, what went wrong? Well, fashion insiders were onto her. They saw through the move. This wasn't about paying tribute to a designer. This was about branding. Meghan wanted to rub shoulders with the industry's elite, to be photographed alongside legends like Anna Wintour and Donatella Versace, hoping that their star power would transfer to her by mere proximity. But the fashion world wasn't having it. They saw her for what she is, a celebrity trying to exploit a tragedy for personal gain, and they shut the door hard. And it wasn't just about the memorial. No, this move was part of a much larger crumbling fade. Let's talk about Meghan's failed Netflix show with Love Meghan. She thought this was her big comeback, her chance to prove she could thrive in Hollywood. But what happened? The show performed terribly. It ranked 1,217 out of every single piece of content on Netflix. That's right, 1,217 out of thousands. Even random YouTube creators without million-dollar budgets pulled in better numbers. Let that sink in. Her cooking show? 2 million views over 4 months. Catastrophic. Independent creators with no fame are racking up those numbers in weeks, sometimes even days. So what happened? Simple, no one cared. The audience could feel the manufactured nature of it all. Meghan wasn't cooking because she loved it. She wasn't sharing her kitchen secrets. She was putting on a show. The content felt rehearsed, inauthentic, and that's why it didn't resonate. And as if that wasn't enough, her holiday special came in at an even worse 1,020 place. Imagine the disaster. A show with that much production value and it barely cracked the top 1,000. What did Netflix do? They figured out fast that they'd made a mistake. It was clear that Meghan couldn't deliver what they needed. And here's where it gets even worse. Meghan and Harry scored a massive $20 million deal with Spotify for their podcast series. They were supposed to produce 12 episodes for $20 million. But guess what? Meghan couldn't even be bothered to do the actual interviews herself. She had someone else do the hard work, recording the interviews, and then she'd just edit her voice in afterward. Can you believe it? She's getting paid millions to have conversations, and she can't even be bothered to show up for them herself. This is where the cracks in her Hollywood dream really start to show. People see it. The public sees the inauthenticity. Everything is calculated, rehearsed, staged. Modern audiences are savvy. They can tell when someone's being fake, and when they spot that inauthenticity, they tune out. It's not just about the content failing, it's about everything she does feeling fake. It's all about the image. It's all about the brand, but no one's buying it. And that's what's so tragic about this whole situation. Meghan has all the resources, all the connections, but she doesn't have the one thing that actually matters: authenticity. That's what the fashion industry saw at Valentino's memorial. That's what Netflix saw with her disastrous rankings. That's what the public sees when they scroll past her latest curated Instagram Instagram post. And let me tell you, this pattern of failures is about to get worse before it gets better. As Tom Bauer, the biographer who spent years researching Meghan's career, predicted, her Hollywood dream was always doomed. He said it in his book Revenge, Meghan lacks the real talent needed to succeed in the entertainment industry. She treats relationships as transactional, exploiting people for what she can get from them. That's exactly what she did with Valentino's memorial, and that's exactly why she was shut down. In the end, it's not just the failed Netflix show or the rejected memorial, it's the mounting pressure from every direction. The doors that once seemed wide open are now slamming shut. Spotify walked away from the podcast deal. Netflix is having second thoughts. The fashion world just publicly rejected her attempt to gain entry into one of its most exclusive spaces. And now we're watching as everything collapses, as everything collapses, as everything collapses.